Hey, and welcome to another episode of Audio Scrawl. I'm Kang,
This is Brandon.
and it's been a while. One more week has gone by, and we have more stuff to talk about.
Yes. Kang, what would you like to start with?
All right, let's just go with the more recent news. The latest couple trailers dropped this week. The first one we're going to talk about is the new Ghostbusters trailer. We both saw it. What did you think of it?
Which one?
The second one.
The second one, not the international one?
Not the international one.
Alright, so we'll talk about the second one. I felt like it was much better than the first trailer, but there were some things about it that still kind of bugged me. Kind of rubbed me the wrong way for a Ghostbusters film.
Mm-hmm.
But I still am interested in seeing the movie. I'll check it out because I feel like I'm just mixed about it. I don't know. I feel like the trailer is not representing the movie properly. Something's not right. But one thing that kind of irked me when I saw the trailer, it just seemed weird, was there's a ghost, and using the proton packs, they're running and shooting at the ghost while running.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why that bugs me. It just feels like something where the proton packs, because they're like nuclear accelerated weaponry going on, they seem like they project a lot of force where you can't run and blast them at the same time.
Not to mention the equipment is heavy.
The equipment is heavy.
In the originals, they made it like, hey, we're gonna lug this huge backpack around.
They were heavy. I'm assuming that they're doing the same thing, but it's kind of off-putting, and it's just a weird little nerd nitpick that I'm having. But growing up watching the cartoon series and watching the films, they do not run and blast at the same time. They're usually in standing position because they have to anchor themselves. So something feels a bit off, but we'll see. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, trailer seems okay. It just felt like it showed too much. Like, it showed way too many, like, 1 second clips that didn't have to be there.
It actually showed way too much. It showed that, what's his name?
Chris Hemsworth?
Chris Hemsworth is the main antagonist in this film. He gets possessed, and then it cuts away, and then it shows him, like, next to the ghost amplifier machine, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, oh, so thanks, movie.
Yeah, well, thanks, editor of trailers. What? I'm not understanding what's the problem with people editing trailers. What is going on with them? Captain America: Civil War. I want to say, I don't know if it's Marvel. I don't know if it's Disney. They know what they're doing with those trailers. The Star Wars Force Awakens, they were handled very well. I really enjoyed the Rogue One trailer as well, where it feels like they show enough to get you interested, but it doesn't show everything. It doesn't show too many of the plot points. Captain America: Civil War seems to do the same thing, where you're seeing clips that are happening throughout the movie. You just don't know when they're going to happen or in what order. But it doesn't reveal the major plot points of the film.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And then sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I thought we were gonna. I wasn't sure if we should transition to the international, or did you have any thoughts about the second?
Yeah, the second trailer was definitely. It was. Oh, I guess it was. It was definitely a little better than the original. I watched it, like, there were some better jokes. I guess it was edited a little bit better, but it was overall it was still kind of like meh. Like if the first trailer didn't exist, I would just be like, okay, it's a meh trailer. Yeah. I don't really care for it. But technically speaking, that was the third trailer, because there was an international trailer, and now a second international trailer for Ghostbusters came out, and that is a really good trailer.
Yeah, that's way better. That one actually grabbed me more. I feel like it shows the right amount of scenes, not revealing too much,
and like the right humor.
Yeah, it makes it look good.
Yeah, it makes it look good. If all the other trailers hasn't come out yet, and the second international trailer was the first trailer, it would have been great. The movie would be, would have garnered a lot of interest.
Yeah.
Already.
Well, I think the saving point of the movie, one actress that caught my attention is I don't know her name. I feel like I haven't seen her in anything else. She's this blonde haired lady. Like she has like this frizzled blonde hair with glasses. She might be the highlight of the movie. I think 'cause she seems out there.
I think Chris Hemsworth's gonna steal the movie.
How?
He's gonna play it like a blocky, airheaded male, clerical.
Might be fun. He looks like he's having fun with that. I'm fine with that. The second trailer, they show him getting possessed, and it's like, I don't know where you're going with this, but I feel like I shouldn't know that.
Yeah, not yet.
That's too much. Yeah.
Or anyways, like the first trailer, it showed him getting possessed, but we didn't know how long. But now it looks like he's getting possessed pretty much throughout the entire movie. Once the ghost starts possessing people, he becomes the main antagonist.
The one black actress, a comedian actress from Saturday Night Live, she's I don't know what's going on there because I feel like it feels like they're unnecessarily bringing out racial jokes. That just feels like this doesn't have to be in a Ghostbusters movie, and this doesn't have to be like this racial thing, because like why can't they all just be like, it's just a group, an all-female diverse group. Because I always looked at the original Ghostbusters, especially Ernie Hudson, as like it's a pretty good team. It's a team that worked well together, and they like bad stuff is happening. They know they have to take it down, but it feels like they're bringing out jokes that doesn't have to be in it. Okay, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm definitely not going to watch it anyway.
You're not going to.
Just because of the two trailers already. Yeah. So I'm like, that looks pretty bad.
Well, I got to. I feel like if I don't like the movie, it's because I saw the movie and I'm telling people don't watch it. Now, if I go and see it and then it turns out, oh hey, maybe it's not as bad and it is good, then awesome. Then that's what I want. I want to be surprised. I want to be wrong. I want to enjoy the movie, and then try to back it up and tell people, hey, go check it out. But we'll see.
What if all the reviews are bad about it before you go see it?
Well, that sounds like trouble, my friend. Look at Batman v Superman. All right, maybe that's a bad comparison or a bad example to bring up, but I mean, Ghostbusters 1 has remarkable reviews. It's a fantastic movie. Ghostbusters 2, that one's really, it's mixture, and that's really to each person's subjective opinion. But this one, I feel like it's going to be subjective again.
Really? You don't think it's like universally panned? It's not a bad movie?
Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, okay, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Next trailer, the just recently released today, actually, was the latest Star Trek Beyond trailer. And what did you think of that one?
I'm gonna see it. This new one, it's kind of weird for me because it's something I feel like we don't know where we're going with the Star Trek here. Star Trek is
good. I think it's good that way.
Yeah. But that's what I'm excited about too, is you don't know what's going on. To be fair, the trailers, watching them, I don't know what's going on. I don't know the story. And I'm intrigued enough to go watch them because I've enjoyed the first two movies. And directed by the guy who directed many of the Fast and the Furious films. It definitely has some heavy actions, but it's kind of consistent with the action in the first two movies. I've enjoyed those, and yeah, I'm definitely excited to see it. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. Definitely better than the first time they showed off the trailers. Definitely like it more. The tone of the trailer was better.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited. All right, and that should be it for movie trailers. What's next?
All right, so Disney Interactive. Have you heard about them?
Yeah, I've heard of Disney Interactive.
Do you know what happened to them?
I know what happened to them. They're not making video games anymore.
They're not developing video games. Disney is not publishing video games anymore.
Nope. From now on they will be strictly, handing out the license of games to developers who wants to make them. But other than that, they want no more part in video games. It's understandable, which is weird because I thought Disney Infinity was doing fine,
Yeah.
Okay, that 3.0 looked fine. It looked pretty cool. All the old toy still works for. I'm like, sure, cool. But I guess it wasn't. Doing as well.
King, let me say this to you. I'm going to quote Wesker from Marvel vs. Capcom. World saturation.
Yeah, I thought they did it better than most.
It's getting pretty crowded with the toy to life video game, toy to life video games.
Toy to life.
Because it started with Spyro and the Skylanders.
They were the second though. They were only the second.
Were they the second?
Yeah, because it was Skylanders and then Disney Infinity and then Lego.
Yeah.
Warner Bros. Lego series came out, and then Amiibos, which isn't even like technically toys to life. It's just kind of DLC.
Yeah, DLC or some interaction with some video games. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that gets me about Disney Infinity, but I think it doesn't exactly appeal to a wider amount of audience compared to the others. Because I think Skylanders there because it was first, so it established itself. Then we got Disney Infinity, which I think there's been a lot of complaints from maybe the hardcore gamers that felt like it's kind of generic. Like the characters when they do stuff.
Yeah, the first one definitely was like cool. You have this. I believe it was almost like put this character in. He's in his own little world. And that's about it. There wasn't really much of a game to them. Instead of just, it's just mostly just mess around with that character.
Yeah.
In this little area.
I mean, they upgraded and they seem to get better.
Oh, yeah.
They seem to have gotten better and better and expanded more into like, okay, we got Disney characters, now we got Marvel, now we got Star Wars, which I thought, hey, that's cool. And I dug the toys because they looked like they got this one artist and he designed all the figurines.
Yeah.
And I like the art style too.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a collector where if you don't look at the video games, it's like, well, I like the figures. So you got that. Alright, so we got Lego Dimensions. That came out. So what would be the success to Lego Dimensions? What makes them work?
Legos? Everybody knows Legos. Kids love Legos.
So what works for Lego Dimensions, I think, is if you're not getting them for video games, you can use them for your Lego sets.
Yep.
You can interact. You have the toy sets. So I think it has advantage with that as well. And there's a lot of properties that are mixed up with Legos. So I think people will find appeal to Lego.
Yeah.
And now we have the Amiibos, where Amiibos, its success is flat out, well, they're Nintendo figures.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Not even good ones, too, darn it. But they're Nintendo figures.
Not to our standard, but to the mass, like the casual audience. Mm-hmm. That's good enough for them. I mean, like look at how much some of those figures are on eBay.
Crazy fans.
Yeah, and they love it. But the Disney, it's too much money, I think, for them.
Mm-hmm. For honestly, for almost all of them, it's too much money.
Sure. But I feel like Disney Interactive, it's not just Disney Infinity. I think it's just Disney Interactive in general because I've looked at many, many video games from Disney Interactive. And just when there's a game that's coming out like Epic Mickey that I thought, oh man, this looks pretty intriguing. It turned out to be a so-so game. Like
it turned out to be nothing like the concept art, which was fantastic. Holy cow.
Dark.
Yeah.
Eerie. But adventurous, like they backpedaled. I also feel like Disney makes they don't make great games. I don't think they're not super successful. I don't think they're Yeah, I look at all the games that have come out for the DS. Any games that comes out from Disney Interactive, they just don't appeal to me. Any Disney property, even from their Disney Channel stuff. So I think it goes beyond Disney Infinity. I feel like they're just not doing so great. They just don't have a hot seller.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can't think of the last good Disney game that I've played. To be honest, outside of maybe.
You can't say Kingdom Hearts.
I was gonna say
we can't
maybe,
say Kingdom
maybe
Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts, maybe.
And so
outside of that, maybe it just goes back to the Super Nintendo era, which is the Aladdin, Lion King games, DuckTales.
Now, are we talking about the titles developed by Capcom?
Yeah, they were. Oh yeah, still Disney games.
They were Disney games, but they were. Yeah, I believe they were developed and published by Capcom.
Okay, you're right.
So it's not Disney Interactive.
Mm-hmm.
But now we have to look at it this way: is it good that they're closing down? Is this actually good news? I mean, it sucks because a lot of developers, I think it's called Avalanche Studios. You have all these employees who work on these games. Now they're out of the jobs, and that sucks. I feel bad for any studios. I feel bad for people who lose their jobs. But when we look at Disney IPs or Disney video games, it's a good news that all right, Disney Interactive has shut down. Now it's time for other studios who want to make these games. I want to make great games out of these characters. Will they come?
That's true. It does kind of suck because you never want to see a studio close down. Not to mention just see less content. For video games, for consoles, PCs, whatever. And so for them stepping out, it kind of sucks but now it's bringing in more. Any developer who has interest in the Disney IPs can go to Disney hey, we want to make a game out of this this IP.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Well, you have Square who's doing Kingdom Hearts, and they've done a great job with those. Those are a success because of how Square has handled the projects of how can we create our own RPG IP by combining Final Fantasy with Disney.
And right now, EA does have the Star Wars. So. And
there's rumor coming about that Sucker Punch is going to develop a Spider-Man, which sounds great.
It does.
There's been Maximilian Dude did a video having discussion talking about is it possible for Capcom to come back with Marvel vs. Capcom 4, which could be, but that we'll have to wait and see because I just feel like Capcom's in a weird place right now.
The question is, does Capcom want to do it? Do they want to pay the licensing fee again? For it.
I mean, heck, the last time they did a Disney game was for GameCube, and that was a Mickey Mouse, seemed like a point and click adventure game that they did, which weirded me out. not my Capcom Disney game. Not like Magical Quest.
Nope.
Oh, do you remember Magical Quest?
I do.
It's such a good game. I need to find that. There were a lot of good stuff back in the 90s.
There was.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, there's new possibilities now. I mean, you got Marvel, and I would love for there to be good Marvel games again.
Yeah, Marvel really is lacking a good superhero game.
They've been focusing on Contest of Champions, and I'm not into that.
Yeah,
I'm not into mobile fighting games. I don't get them.
Yeah, the last one was pretty much like Spider-Man 2. So
that was with Activision, but they don't have rights to that game
anymore.
Yeah, that was so long ago. They haven't done anything exceptional since. But we'll see. All right, since we were talking a little bit about Capcom, because I was mentioning about they're in a weird place right now. So Capcom stepped forward and they apologized for Street Fighter V. They felt like they kind of messed up with the launch of it. They want this whole game, this whole project. They seem to want to try something new and different because they're working with Sony, and it didn't pan out for them. And they kind of realized that we were rushing it. and people are not happy with us.
No, but they can't even. Once again, going back to before the game even released, people can't be mad at them, right?
Right.
Because they literally laid out a roadmap of what was happening. Like, hey, we're gonna launch the game with this mode, these characters, and then down the line, these months, we're gonna be releasing this content.
Yeah.
They did this before launch, before the game, before reviews came out, even before. So like, okay, so everyone understood going in what was going to be in the game, but now, but everyone still got mad for that. I'm like, what?
Yeah, but then you still have the people who do follow Capcom and then keeps up with the news, but then what about the people who are not following the news, who are not the hardcore gamers? You do have like the customers who, hey, I played Street Fighter 2, and yeah, I would like to get back into Street Fighter. Street Fighter 5 came out, I'll get that. And you just jump in, not knowing what's going on with it in the development. It's, it seems kind of lacking there. I mean, it's more than Street Fighter 2, but it's not like other fighting games. Like it doesn't have as much content, or there's issues with the game in the beginning. But it's in a weird place. It really is, and I think Capcom feels that maybe we could have sold much more if we spend a little bit more time developing the game and polishing it and putting all the content that it's supposed to have. But we can't say for sure because this apology came because they sold a lot. The game is successful in its own right. It just didn't make it to the projected. I think
they said it was 1.4 million when they wanted 2. Yeah. So it's definitely not bad, but definitely a little bit off of what they wanted.
It always concerns me that Capcom would. They make a big deal out of this, and they're just always in this weird place of. There's all these great games that they have, these franchises that they should keep making, but they're not able to because of the funding. They're having issues of funding, where to put it, and what to focus on. It just seems like they're just focused on Resident Evil and Street Fighter right now. I can't think of any other projects they're working on.
They're working on Deep Down. Yeah,
that fell out of my radar.
Yeah,
I've forgotten all about that.
Deep Down, Monster Hunter, Gakuten Saibon.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
So they still have a couple popular games they're still working on.
I still like those. I like Monster Hunter. They've been doing really good with Monster Hunter. I don't blame them for not abandoning that project because I think they have a good thing going with that. Gakuten Saibon or the Ace Attorney franchise. Those are pretty good too. I think. I mean, not their strongest, but it caters towards their followers. So I think they should keep up with that.
Yeah. But definitely, they said, hey, because of Street Fighter 5, we're gonna give games more, or our games that we're developing more time now. Yeah. So even if it does cost us delays, we're going to delay a game to make sure it comes out good, properly.
Yeah. So what do you think of the new Resident Evil game going to be?
Which one?
Resident Evil 7?
Oh, 7 and not Umbrella Corps.
Oh, no one gives a crap about Umbrella Corps.
that team multiplayer deathmatch game. We'll see. I'm definitely interested in Resident Evil 7. They say it's still alive, so
watching my girlfriend play Resident Evil 1 and me kind of like stepping in and playing a little bit of it. I want that game. I want them to go back to that. Fixed camera angles, less enemies, but the less there are, the more intense the feeling of the game is. And you just don't know what's around the corner.
Can't even blame Resident Evil 4 for that.
Pretty much. Yeah. Or Capcom getting the... Someone misinterpreted the message of Resident Evil 4. Because Resident Evil 4, they did something completely different, which was awesome in how they did it. But all of a sudden, it was like less horror and more about action. Action. Knife people. Yep. Kick them, body slam them and stuff.
Quick time events.
Punch a rock.
Yeah.
So that got out of hand. It was like the little elements that added strategy to the combat just exploded. Like that's what the gameplay is all about. Stunning them and then just flashing grenades at them and then knocking them out and stuff and just blasting bullets everywhere because you're just surrounded. And they missed the point that you're surrounded because like you have this open space, but then you have like a lot of these houses that you can run into and hide. But when you run into a house, well, you're surrounded and everyone is going through the window and you're just, you know what, you're alone in that place. You're just overcrowded by people trying to kill you. And that sucks. But then in the sequels after Resident Evil 4, it's like, well, you actually have bullets to use.
Well, you also have, depending on how you play Resident Evil 4, you have bullets too, you know?
Yeah, but I've always been bullet management, so I didn't have an issue there. And I would have plenty of bullets.
Because in the end, you're just gonna hit them in the leg and then do the quick time prompts with Leon.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it'd be nice. Or, well, I want to say maybe they can do both, but maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not.
Oh well, we'll see. I definitely want them to have a good Resident Evil game, so we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, definitely.
For all we know, they could be rebooting the franchise.
It's true. I mean, I didn't mind. I like 5 and I like 6, so
yeah.
To me, I don't care. The hardcore fans like, I don't know if you guys want.
Yeah, I'm not sure where I lie because I didn't exactly beat Resident Evil 5 and I haven't played or touched Resident Evil 6, but they just lost my interest. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Alright, so I want to transition and my main topic that I really want to have this discussion about is I'm calling it SNK versus Capcom. Mm-hmm. And, you know, each time we do this podcast, a new trailer of King of Fighters 14 comes out. And I keep asking you the question, why am I excited for King of Fighters 14? What is it about the game that I'm getting all hyped up about?
Because it's a King of Fighters game. We've always liked King of Fighters.
We've always liked King of Fighters, but why do we like it? What is it about this franchise that you and I... It's not massively popular, but it has a pretty good fan following. What is it about this franchise that you and I, like, we know it, and we like them?
Uh-huh. I don't know. I think it really just because it has a lot of characters for us to play.
Right.
That's one thing. And the mechanics aren't too bad itself.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It parallels with Street Fighter. Street Fighter has their 6-button system, 3 punches, 3 kicks. King of Fighters is simplified a little bit more. You got 2 punches and 2 kicks. Mm-hmm. So that's a 4-button system. It's quite the legacy it has. I mean, if you look at it, King of Fighters is practically a crossover fighting game of different SNK IPs. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think it really grabbed my attention because I grew up from playing Neo Geo arcades. I've always seen Fatal Fury and Samurai Showdown. Mm-hmm. And then King of Fighters came out, and the characters I knew from Fatal Fury were there, and it just extends from that. And then I felt like Capcom versus SNK made King of Fighters games much more appealing, or it seemed to promote King of Fighters a lot more because, hey, I like these characters, I like playing as them in Capcom versus SNK. I want to get a King of Fighters because I want to keep playing these characters.
Yeah.
I want to keep playing those games. So, yeah, I mean, 14 looking pretty solid to me with all the trailers they've been showing.
Yeah, for sure. They still haven't shown every character yet, so they have a long ways to go. I believe it comes out in, didn't they say, like, August?
Yeah, it comes out in August.
So
pretty soon.
It's pretty soon.
Oh, they did show all the characters. They revealed all the characters.
No, but I would imagine they haven't had their own like individual highlight.
Okay.
Because they started off showing character trailers, like maybe just 3 random characters,
right? And
then they all of a sudden, hey, Infobot, here's all 50 characters. I'm like, okay. And then now they're going back, and now they're showing team trailers. So hey, here are these 3 characters, and they're in a team, and then showing off their movesets. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
It's going to be a while. It's going to be...
That's okay. I mean, they revealed all the characters, and all these characters you can be, like, excited about or kind of like, meh. What's exciting is the classic characters, the characters you're familiar with. It's fun to see who's coming back.
Yeah.
And then it's also interesting to see the brand new characters coming out too. And some of the teams that they're showing off, because I think they did show like all the teams. You're just not seeing the team highlights.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I see what you're talking about. And some of these teams are mixed up. I think like the women's team, one or two characters. No, I think it's just one that's just completely brand new character, part of the team.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a South America team, which I think ingenious, because whenever I watch those King of Fighters trailers, I see a bunch of Portuguese comments in there, and I think people are pretty excited for the game.
Now, isn't the women's team the newest character? Wasn't she just from the pachinko machine?
Probably, but it's
games?
someone that's never appeared in a King of Fighters game in the past.
Yes.
And that's very exciting because I feel like there's a good number of characters in there that are brand new that I've never played before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think they have this one team. I can't remember the name of it. It's got a funky name like New Stars team or something like that. And and you seem to have like these brand new, bizarre looking characters that doesn't exactly fit in with the rest of the rosters, like because of where all the characters, their design, where they came from, they all look pretty consistent. But these new characters are like completely different looking.
Yeah.
But they seem to have brand new, unique movesets.
Yeah. I'm just glad Geese Howard's back. He died. Hey man, he died in Mark of Wolves, so he never came back in a King of Fighters game.
Yeah, but King of Fighters, that's questionable about how canon it is with the Fatal Fury lore.
It's pretty canon, I guess.
Well, I mean, and then you gotta look at the Art of Fighting. Art of Fighting takes place before Fatal Fury. I think like 6 to 10 years prior to Fatal Fury.
But I think the story here is that the two bosses can travel through time or dimension. Hence why older characters can come back. I'm like, oh, okay.
And I don't question it anyways. King of Fighters, just it's a fun love letter to its fans. Really,
fighting game story.
and story it does have, and they're just highlighting a lot of the features of the game, and SNK or Atlas is just promoting the hell out of this game of what it has. I mean, they came out with the I guess what they call the story trailer. The game has story. It has a story mode. And, they're being upfront saying this game has 50 playable characters from the get-go. This game has a story mode. This game's got versus, got online. This game has, like, other contents going on. Like, I think you have online practice, too, that you can work with other people. You can do, like, practice mode online. And just teach people, like, how to do the moves. So this game has content. I think it also has gallery mode too. Like it has art gallery.
Yeah, gallery mode
in there. That's fantastic. It's a good start.
Yeah, it's a good start.
They're highlighting. It just feels like they saw what's going on with Street Fighter V, what's going on with Capcom, and all the issues and problems people are having with Street Fighter V. They're pushing it on King of Fighters 14, telling people this game has them. This game has what you want out of Street Fighter V.
I would say that, but in the end, it all comes down to gameplay mechanics. If the game doesn't play well, it doesn't matter how much content you have, you know? Because here's I guess a kind of interesting parallel. Like Capcom Street Fighter V came out, it was pretty like, yeah, it doesn't have a lot of content, but man, is it the best gameplay we've ever played, And sitting around like, maybe like a 70 something around Metacritic. And then Pokken Tournament came out not too long ago. It's pretty decent fighting game, but it has more content. And then at the same time, like, yeah, the comments is kind of meh. And so at the same time, it's sitting around the same closely around the same Metacritic score as Street Fighter V. So in the end, it's, for fighting games in a way, it's completely by the game mechanics, and not necessarily content. I mean, no. I'm not saying not enough content is bad. I'm saying sure. In the end, for a fighting game, it all comes down to the fighting mechanics, how great every character feels.
Right. So there's people out there on the internet I brought up in the past before too, but there's a new video that came out that I thought that's a really cool video this guy did. Definitely a fan, and he took some time to do this. This guy from South America grabbed gameplay footage from an old King of Fighters game, maybe like I want to say like 98 or 2000. It's one of those games that should have like all the best popular characters. Mm-hmm. So he did a side-by-side comparison of King of Fighters 14 against the old school King of Fighters, and then did another comparison with King of Fighters 13, because that's kind of like the last, like the epitome of King of Fighters in the last generation of consoles.
Yeah.
Because of the 2D sprite. I mean, it's the last 2D sprite game. So he did the comparison with 14. And he has like Kyo Kusanagi doing his bread and butter combos, and it's pretty spot on. His moves, his combos, the speed of King of Fighters 14 is matching with King of Fighters 2000. Let's say 2000. It's matching with King of Fighters 2000, and it's matching with King of Fighters 13. The only exception that would slow King of Fighters 14 down would be when they do their hyper art or super combo. When they activate it, just like Street Fighter 5, it kind of takes like this cinematic
goes to a little flashy cinematic.
So they do that. So the gameplay of it and the flow is matching up with the previous installments.
Yeah.
And that's not bad.
No, not at all.
As long as the game does a pretty good job, like in King of Fighters 13, and like having tutorials and conveying like how to play the game, that's not bad. Mm-hmm. Because it has a really good gameplay. I mean, 13 opened my eyes up a little bit more about like how you can play it. It was fun. But yeah, I mean, you have a point that the gameplay, the style of it, may not be for everyone. But then that's how these fighting games are. Yeah. Every single franchise, they're not going to be the same. But supposedly, the competition between Capcom and SNK is that some of their fighting games, their style is pretty similar.
Yeah. And it can't be helped, you know. There's only so many inputs you could do on a controller.
Right.
Yeah. So
it'll be interesting, but I'm just so excited for this game.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm more curious about the price of the game, if it's going to be a standard $60.
It most likely is.
It's looking like that. Yeah.
Well, yeah. As of right now, I believe they have a 32-player demo playable for like when they sell off the games at the conventions and competitions. So
I'm still a Team Fatal Fury.
Same, yeah, because we grew up with them from
they're great characters.
From the Fatal Fury games to the anime.
Yeah, I grew up watching the anime, but no, they're great characters. They have great movesets, but I don't know. I get a big smile on my face when I see Psycho Soldier team or the female team, as well as the Japan's team. So I get pretty excited to see those characters back. Oh, Iori. Yeah, they just recently showed the Iori team trailer. That's another thing. Canon-wise, Iori is teamed up with Vice and Mature, and I think the lore is that Vice and Mature were killed in the series, and they came back in the last game.
They keep bringing them back because they're fan favorites. Well, gotta please your fans somehow.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, fine.
I just drove disbelief.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying,
Look, you got characters that plays really well and plays different from others. Why not?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Me too.
That's why Charlie's back in Street Fighter 5.
Hey man, still because it's after before. Because canon-wise, he came back.
Yep. All right.
Fighting game story.
Fantastic. Well, yeah. So otherwise, very excited for King of Fighters 14. If you're someone who's really into fighting games, you look at King of Fighters and you're turned off by the visuals and the graphics. I mean, fair enough. If that's not your thing, that's not your thing. But if you want a fighting game,
yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, it still is rough. But visually and how the game moves pretty good. Like I said, they did that side-by-side comparison with the previous games. It moves fine. So this is a game that has a history of its gameplay. the core of its gameplay, it's there. It looks pretty good. If you've always been curious about getting into King of Fighters, I think this might be a good one to approach. I mean, 50 playable characters, and it's looking like it plays well, plays the way it should.
Yeah.
And I think that's all the more reason to get into it.
I agree.
Yeah,
and it's definitely, and it's a good series.
Yeah, it's got story.
Yeah,
everything. I think as far as I know, everything should be done. So there you go. Okay. The last topic I kind of felt like was interesting is we're moving on to summer. A lot of television series. They're going through their season finale.
Okay.
And many shows are being canceled.
A lot of shows have been canceled.
And while a handful are being renewed for a new season.
Yeah.
Any shows that caught your attention?
Yeah, it was who's that agent girl from Marvel?
Yes, Agent Carter.
Yeah, I'm surprised that she died twice in a week. Holy cow.
Yeah. Yeah, she did.
Yeah, she got killed off twice in a week. Holy cow. But yeah, other than that, very interesting news came out is actually there are rumors floating around that Netflix might have 3 more properties, more Marvel properties coming up to Netflix.
I'm listening.
And those 3 are Ghost Rider, Blade, and Moon Knight.
The Moon Knight rumor has been coming around for a while, but the Ghost Rider and Blade.
Yeah, they might have their own original Netflix series.
Blade would be interesting because
Blade would be pretty cool, actually.
Well, I say interesting because they have done a TV series before, a live action TV series. It was on Spike TV, but I never bothered watching it. No. I think.
But now they don't have to hold back.
What happened was Blade Trinity, it put a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
Blade 1 was pretty good. Blade 2, not bad. I mean, the CG fight scene turned me off a bit, but otherwise, the content was pretty good.
Yeah.
I like Wesley Snipes as Blade. It was fantastic.
He made a really great Blade.
That's interesting, though, because, wow, 2 of the series, the rumors float. These are rumors, right?
These are rumors.
Yeah. Ghost Rider and Blade definitely represents like the supernatural element.
Yeah.
But that's not a bad idea because Daredevil after season 2 it's showing off or introducing supernatural element as well. Like people who died seem to be coming back to life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so if they establish that in Daredevil but then still do stuff to ground it, yeah, that would be fantastic, actually.
Right.
The more I think about it, I would love for Netflix to handle Ghost Rider and Blade. And, of course, I'm down for Moon Knight because that's Marvel's Batman.
Exactly.
With multiple personality disorder.
Yeah.
The more I'm hearing about this character, the more interest I have in him. And he's all white.
Yep, he dresses all white instead.
Why? Because he wants bad guys to see him.
Of course.
But
yeah,
cool.
it'll be pretty interesting if all those 3 come to Netflix.
Yeah, they're doing so good so far, and I'm just so impatient for Luke Cage and Iron Fist, and I'm very curious about the Defenders too. Why stop? Keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah,
because Marvel's not going to stop after Infinity War. Oh, there's going to be a Phase 4.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you brought up the Infinity War. Maybe we'll talk about that after we discuss the TV stuff. But anything else you've heard from Netflix?
That's it so far.
Okay. I was surprised that Lucifer got renewed for another season. Considering the content and the controversy behind it, people are complaining that Lucifer is a series that glorifies the devil. It's like, you just got, what is it, sustained illusion or disdain?
Yeah,
illusion?
Disdain illusion? Something
like that. I can't remember that phrase. But anyways, it's a fictional story. It's based on a comic book, and
Suspension of disbelief.
Suspension of disbelief.
Yeah,
I knew something like that.
Yeah, whoa, we
were
were way
very
off.
off.
Yeah.
Way off. I'm glad you
Whoa.
recovered that.
Yeah.
Good job, gang.
Samsonite.
That's way off. All right, suspension of disbelief. Anyway, no, Lucifer is a fantastic series. I like it. It's very charming. The only issue I have with it is it's your typical whodunit or your crime series, just investigation and stuff like that. At the end of it, start getting a little bit more onto like the comic book supernatural side of things as well. And the way it ended, the season finale is kind of like hinting that there's more going on, like in hell or something escaped from hell. And that's what I would like second season to be about, that they could do all kinds of stuff with the series. I mean, they could continue what they're doing, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. It's just there's only so many episodes you can do in that formula. But if they start introducing hell spawns or demons and stuff like that they have to take care of as well, that might make it more interesting.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised it didn't get canceled by Fox.
That's right.
Because
I'm surprised too.
Because another show that me and my family like watching is called Grinder. That got canceled. It's a shame. It's a funny show. Yeah. And then another big news is Supergirl will no longer be on CBS.
Yep.
Got renewed for a second season, but it's being moved to CW. They say that production of the series is very expensive because they do film it in California. Uh-huh. And I guess it's just very costly. So because it's being moved to CW, it sounds like they're gonna film it in Toronto. In Canada.
That's nice.
Yeah, where all the other shows are being filmed, like The Flash and Arrow.
Man, CW is becoming like the DC powerhouse of TV shows, huh?
They're doing good. Yeah.
DCW.
Yeah, I like that. Why not? Keep going.
Yeah, unfortunately, Arrow's been kind of going downhill, but...
that's what I've been hearing about, too.
I don't know how much longer they could, hold out on Arrow.
Because the Flash is the big hit, and Legends of Tomorrow seems to be picking up a little bit more, and Arrow just seems to be in a strange place. They seem to be having trouble like developing what's going on with the Arrow.
Yeah, Disney need to make what's his name, Speedy, get addicted to heroin. That storyline.
I don't know. I think elements of that has been introduced in Arrow already. Because his little sister is Speedy, but before being Speedy, she has had like issues with drugs or alcohol. But that's different because she wasn't Speedy yet. I don't want to get into that. But they've been hinting at doing something like the Legion of Superheroes. So there could be like cross-dimensional crossovers because Supergirl doesn't take place in Arrow and the Arrow universe, I think they call it, or Arrow Flash universe.
But they did, didn't they? Because they had a crossover already.
But Barry Allen, and no one doesn't exactly specifically know when this happened, but it definitely has something to do with Barry Allen because of season 2. He has been able to cross dimensions into a different Earth. Yeah. And somehow, by accident, traveled into Supergirl's Earth. Right. So it's a different Earth.
Earth 2?
I think 3.
3?
Maybe. We'll call it that for now. Because, right now they are dealing with Earth 2.
Oh, yeah.
The Flash series. How cool is that? I'm just waiting for a season finale. It's happening. Among all shows, King, if you are limited on time, just watch The Flash. I think just focus on that. Legends of Tomorrow is doing pretty good. It seems to hold up pretty good. I think it's slowly it's increasingly getting better. But I'm actually behind on that show, and now that it's summertime, we have a little bit more time to go back and catch up. I just really want to see the Jonah Hex episode.
Right.
And then see how it goes. Otherwise, that's it on TV. Anything else?
Oh, no, that's it. Yeah, I don't have any more TV to address.
All right. And then you were talking about the Infinity Wars. So they're no longer calling the third Avengers film. They're not going to call it Infinity Wars Part 1, Part 2.
Of course not.
yeah, I think they're just going to be just separate films, and I think that's smart. If you're going to make those movies, if Avengers are going to be like what's setting things up, just do it that way. Because I've always been kind of turned off by the idea of Avengers 3 Part 1 and Part 2, the Infinity Gauntlet, but then you got a couple of other movies in between those. Yep. The flow doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
So it would make more sense to me of like, don't number them, just call it Avengers, give it another title. Don't call it Infinity Gauntlet unless you have to, but don't call 2 movies Infinity Gauntlet.
Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity Wars. Boom.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good actually. And then we got like a couple of other movies, but man, they're just going everywhere with the schedule because Inhumans
is out.
It's just weird because they're trying to make it seem like it's delayed. It's going to be in Phase 4, but it's completely out. Mm-hmm. And there's a part of me that kind of feels like, well, when the third Avengers film comes out, wouldn't you say after the third Avengers film, wouldn't that be Phase 4? I feel like they should call that Phase 4 because Phase 3 just feels like there's too many movies going on. Mm-hmm. You need to break it up. So I think when the next Avengers film comes out, call it Phase 4 after that.
You mean the second Avengers movie? Infinity Wars Part 2? After that one?
Dude, don't hurt my brain here. Okay, so we got Avengers. We got Avengers Age of Ultron. That's Part 2, or the second Avengers movie. And then we got the third Avengers movie, which, they call it Infinity Gauntlet Part 1. I'm just saying that after that third Avengers film, it should be called Phase 4 after that.
I would kind of agree, but then...
There's new movies coming out.
True, but we had Ant-Man. That was the end of Phase 2. It wasn't Avengers.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like that shouldn't have been like the end of Phase 2. Mm-hmm. That's my beef with that.
And the only thing is that they're kind of not calling it Phase 4 right now is just because they're planning on making, the Infinity or whatever... Part 1 and Part 2 connect so well, because it's Part 1 of a 2-part series. So kind of, hey, here's Part 1, and like, hey, that's the end of series, Phase 3. That doesn't work. It has to end the series first. So
but they keep adding more movies.
They do, and those will be after the second one will be Phase 4.
Well, that's fine if they do it that way. But they are coming out with Ant-Man and the Wasp, and as far as I know, it sounds like it's coming out before the last Avengers
second
movie
one
that they have planned. I mean, aren't they doing Black Panther and Captain Marvel?
They're doing it will be Spider-Man, Thor Ragnarok, and then Black Panther, and then right after Black Panther will be the first Infinity War.
Okay.
And then Marvel and Ant-Man and Wasp, and then the second Infinity War.
Yeah, I guess that could work.
And then we already know there's already a Phase 4 because we're going to have Spider-Man 2 and Doctor Strange 2,
Yeah, because some of these other films, I feel like they got to do a sequel. I mean, if Black Panther performs the way Black Panther did in the Captain America movie, it's like, I think I'd like another sequel to that. We'll see. Because I think you have interesting characters that you can't just do one movie. I like their solo adventures. Yeah. It's fun. It's different. It breaks it all apart. Because you don't want them to... I don't want to see Ant-Man to always do like heroic stuff with Avengers because he's sort of like a flawed character where he just does like infiltration stuff. That's more interesting to me.
Yeah.
And Paul Rudd's funny.
Yeah, I agree. But I think it's also time to like, hey, we're going to have, start having more than one Avenger or a Marvel character on screen,
It's getting there.
Because at the end of... Because, no spoilers, Civil War set up some stuff where it's like, okay, so when the Black Panther movie comes out, we have to see...
Captain America.
Yeah, Captain America and other people.
Yeah. And that's how I look at it too. Like, I feel like Black Panther might be the next movie to kind of show like what's going on with those characters, because we know that Doctor Strange, being a solo movie, it has to be about Doctor Strange and no one else. And then we got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, where there's no way they're going to interact with anyone from Earth, and I don't want them to. But
unless Tony Stark goes to space,
like in the comic,
like in the comics,
yeah, no. Oh yeah, and then there's talk or rumors about an Iron Man 4 as well, which could be in Phase 4.
Well, Captain Marvel could be in Guardians too.
Yeah, but there's nothing on Captain Marvel, so I could care less until they start saying stuff. But that'd be cool if it takes place in space. Awesome, yeah, have her interact with Guardians. If not, then oh well. I just think it needs to be her story because she has an interesting history, especially since they're not trying to play up Ms. Marvel; they're playing up Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I was gonna say this. Ms. Marvel.
And then there could be talks. Who knows? That it'd be cool if they do a Ms. Marvel movie with Kamala Khan. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Oh well, that's it for Marvel movie talks. I got nothing else.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Also, there is a more casting announced for Thor Ragnarok, but I don't. Jeff Goldblum.
Okay.
Crap, the Star Trek guy, Bones.
Oh,
You got his autograph.
yeah, I know. His name is. Dang it! I know his name. Carl Urban. That's
Carl
it.
Urban. Yeah. Jeff Goldblum, Carl Urban, and oh my goodness, and another female celebrity have been casted into Thor Ragnarok, and all of them have been also have a part. We know their roles now. They've already announced their roles.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Marvel better do a better job with these girlfriends because they can't seem to keep them in contract. That or maybe they don't want to pay them that much money.
Yeah, or maybe they don't want to do it anymore. So
yeah, that too. It's just kind of weird because of like the thing with Gwyneth Paltrow and then you have how I'm having trouble with names. Natalie Portman. Yeah, you know, like it's just kind of weird in how they're placed in the movies now. Like Natalie Portman, she pretty much expressed like she doesn't want to be him anymore. Okay, we're done. It just kind of sucks because we have a Jane Foster character that probably won't be back. And,
well, they just recast her. I mean,
yeah, I guess so.
Didn't stop other movies. Didn't stop Batman.
Yeah, I think, man, I want them to crack the code on Thor Ragnarok. I've heard Hulk's going to be in it. I think that'd be fantastic.
Jeff Goldblum's going to play. Oh my goodness, what's his name? Something kind of easy too, but he's going to play a celestial being. One who was created, when the time of the universe was created.
Well, we're definitely not going to see the Apocalypse or X-Men anytime soon because, the celestial beings have something to do with, like, the mutants and the evolution. But,
or some one of those.
Well. Yeah, that's going to be cool, though. But I've heard Chris Hemsworth express that he's hoping for more humor. He wants humor like Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor.
Ooh, good luck with the name called Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
That's
I hope it's epic, man. Yeah. I really want them to crack the code. I want to do some I like the Norse mythology aspect. Like the Marvel universe has been established. Have Thor, handle the Norse mythology crap. Like, they're invading Earth, have him deal with them. If not, and they're like attacking other realms and it's his job to defend them, yeah. That's what it should be about.
Yeah.
And he happens to go to Earth because he has friends and he wants to help them.
Yeah.
So I think I like that idea of Thor. But we'll see. All right, well, I guess that's it. You guys have a wonderful time. Enjoy the movies.
Yeah. I'll see you later.